I mean, what I wanted to do is pick your brain. Why? Because out of all the challenges we do, you always seem to be the most successful.
Okay.
I know like you love to throw money at it for sure at the ads. You spend a bit more than the average coach, but just your close rate, also the retention rate that you have, people to stay on. It's just well. So I think what we'll do is just introduce yourself. You know where you're from, how you got into this whole thing, coaching, and just tell us your story.
Okay. So my name is Jeremy Wells. I'm from Slidell, Louisiana. Been coaching right at about 12 years. I've owned Fortitude CrossFit for 9. We I had a partner in the beginning. He's not with me anymore, but without him, I wouldn't have the foundation of where I'm at right now. So I was love coaching, love working, but didn't need to be told to work more or less and show up to a job and do the right thing. So I wanted to go on my own and start coaching and build a business on my own. And of course, the passion be first is foremost. I love helping people and seeing them do things they've never done before. That's always been my heart and intention with this. But I need to make money, so we opened the gym. um Very ignorant in business. I knew per se at the moment how to coach and program a little bit, and grown a lot since then, but at least I had somewhat of a foundation than I did on the business aspect. So, I thought if you build it, they come. That's not true. They build it and the doors stay closed.
Yeah,
So,
man.
we started, just doing a little marketing here and there and trying to get our signs up and, a little free trial here and free month, and tried every gimmick, I do free nanos. If you sign up for a year, just try to do anything. So, I had a friend tell me about a boot camp. Am I allowed to say that name or no?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're around anymore, but they were called, I think, like, um, oh my God, what are they called? I think it was like World's Best Boot Camp, I want to say. But you had to pay 5,000 just to get in. So
Right.
at that moment, I didn't have 5 nickels, so 5,000 was out the question. Well, at that time, this was I think end of 2016, right beginning of January 2017, which I still have some of those members still in my gym. That's helped me move 2 gyms.
Yeah.
Very good friends of ours. So that first boot camp probably means the most to me, because those people are like where I'm at now. Without them, I would never be. So anyways, that's kind of like a heart thing where the people that come in, they have all the keys that you need to unlock for a better business. So the boot camp does help in that. So I'm looking around. I call y'all. I think y'all emailed me, and I was like, okay, thank you, Jesus. All right, I got it. So y'all used to do the 60-40 split, and I was like, I got this. I was like, now I know like you got to sign up the 5, and y'all had y'all to protect y'all, and but I was like, man, let's roll like 60-40. That's easy. So I think I signed up 17 or 19 my first go around, and a good bit stayed. Probably about 10 stayed that I can recall, and about 7 of them are still with us since 2017. So I was like, wow, that wasn't that bad. A little 6 weeks, 250, and I get paid, y'all get paid, and we're good. So then y'all opened up the I
Did
think
I?
the all women's was the next one y'all opened up for me, and
Oh,
then the
yep.
Masters fit. Huh? Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then the Masters 50 plus, and so I was like, yeah, let's go. Try it all. See what happens. And the all women's boot camp took off more than any of them. It did great. And then the Masters 50 plus, I never had anybody over 50, years old in my gym, because they saw CrossFit and they're like, oh my God, that's like NFL people. Like, I can't do that. So just saying Masters 50 plus drove a whole different dynamic and different just market for me, which was great. So, we started, I did it. I was around about 80 members at 2017, and just hitting my head on the wall. Like, I feel like most micro gyms can get to that 50, 75 mark without really knowing maybe what to do and just kind of holding it. But to break that 100 and 150, which is life changing for owners like me,
Mm-hmm.
um, that was huge. So we just started doing boot camps probably. I think y'all were letting me do them like every 3 months. I was about pushing them out unless, something came up with like family or I was busy with the competition. But normally it was always every 3 months, and it just kept going. People just were coming in. Now you got your big boot camps, small boot camps, but all in all, at a certain number, depending on the person, it's profitable, and it's always been profitable. And even I remember there was one that wasn't for me, and that was that Christmas one. I don't know if you remember that one. It was a December 4-week one. But
Yeah.
it was profitable because I kept those members afterwards. So I only signed up a few, but I had 12 months with them after, which was profitable for me. So everyone has been very, very well, helped out with the business, growth in the business.
Which at the end of the day is what everyone wants. I mean, the challenges, the boot camps, they're awesome, but you want members, right?
Yep.
You want paying members.
Yes,
So
sir.
you actually just said something that is actually interesting to think about it, because most people will do just the co-ed challenge and not
Yep.
label it as like you got your co-ed and then you've got your women's only, which is obviously very attractive to a lot of women, and
A
then your
lot.
masters, and keep them separate from the group too.
Yep.
I guess probably less intimidating if they're with more people their age too, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, big time. Some women are not comfortable working around men, so they don't want to have to be worried about, if something slips up or they embarrass themselves. So I have a women coach, of course, and I've never coached one of those classes. She's always take care of it, always gets a girl coach. My master's 50 plus. I used to coach it for the first probably couple years, and then I actually hired a 50 plus coach for that, which we call, his name's Gary, but we call him Chief. So it runs great because masters will be like, oh, you're 30, some years old, of course you can do it. Well, you bring
Right.
a 50 something year old in there, and that, like, there's nothing else to say, like, all right, well, that's
No,
my last excuse of the day. Where do I sign up? So yeah, that diversity helps. Also, the diversity helps with class times. So my all women's boot camp, if they need to go into the co-ed, they can. So it does give them a little bit more options. So they feel a little bit more like, wow, like I don't have to just come 8 a.m. or 7 p.m. I can come 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. too. And it spreads out my classes where I don't like get too many at one time. It's because of it should be probably around the world. Most afternoons are your busiest classes. So like I'll have this morning, I had 8 at my 6 a.m. But like my afternoon, I'll have 16 at the 6 p.m. class. Like it's just always going to be bigger. So it's good to give them that diversity where they can kind of bounce around with their schedule.
right. So, I mean, what's your process? Because I know we run ads the same way for everyone, right? Where the objective is to get them in for that consultation. That's the primary objective with the ads. Put it out there, we generate interest, they sign up, and then they book a time.
Mm-hmm.
What the problem that we have with a bunch of gyms, that it seems to be a recurring problem, and it always has been, even back with Gym Builder, is the show up rate, right? So they'll book an appointment, not show up. What does that look like for you typically?
So
And how
show
do
up
you work
rate is
around
probably
it?
the same like everyone else's. If you got 10 in 1 hour, 10 in that 30-minute gap, you might have 2 that show up. But that's guerrilla marketing. Like people have to understand that. When you put out 1,000 flyers, you're not expecting 70% return. They're seeing a quick ad to a quick message to a quick text message, and that is it. Like they come, they don't, they don't. Now my process goes a little deeper. So anybody that does sign up does get a personal text from me. So they do get a text from you, but they get a personal text from me. So I'm like, hey, my name's Jeremy. This is a personal text. So now they have my personal number, which if they need to get with me or reschedule with me, they just feel like it's a little bit more of a one-on-one connection. They feel special because they are special. They signed up. They are interested in spending $200, $300, $400 with me. Well, that's a big deal. Also, that's an investment that could be a return, or a return of investment for a 12-month. And any person that they know could be signing up with them. So it might not be upfront, like, man, I'm doing all this effort. I don't even know if it's gonna come out of any money per se. But I always go in thinking like this is my $1 million baby, which every gym should have 2 or 3 fire breathers, which they just bring in members. They are just important people in their community. They're very likable. So when I'm going through my boot camp, I always get one of those that's gonna I'm gonna sign them up, and they're gonna bring 3 or 4 people without me having to do a consultation with them. So I think of everyone like that. They're the diamond, and I'm over here trying to shine it, polish it, set it so everyone can see it, because they're going to bring people. I'm not going to bring people. I'm already fit. I already worked out for the last 20 years of my life. Everyone, there's no connection there, because they're like, you've done this forever, but that person has never done it and they're willing to do it. So, hey, why not jump on board with that person? So whatever y'all do on marketing, one, spend the money. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, you can't get on to y'all if y'all spending $300. Like, that's just like, I've boosted for $300. That ain't going to go far. So can I say my average on what I spend?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I was actually going to ask
so people are, so they can understand. We spend anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 on ads. And that right there will produce the appointments. Now, them getting in your doors, I do a little extra text, which helps out. But all in all, y'all automatic text is great. They show up. Now, when they walk in, let me step one step back. Now let's talk about the hours. Okay. I'm self-employed, no other job. Now I own competition or an aside gig or whatnot, but my main bread and butter is Fortitude CrossFit. So if y'all are pushing, maybe say you're pushing 30 hours a week, but it's horrible times, well, then they're not going to come. They're going to book it and be like, oh my God, it's 2:30 in the afternoon. It's 5 a.m. in the morning. Like, I'm not making those. So I do mine from 8 to 10 a.m., which is my smaller meetings, but they are good meetings because moms just dropped off all their kids to school. People are getting off their 12-hour shift from night. Servers don't go into 3, 4 o'clock normally. So I can get them at around the 9:30. And then I'll do from 5 to 7, which is prime. Everyone's off of work at 4 to 5 o'clock. They're working out. I do that Monday through Friday. So if they have kids that have sports twice a week, 3 times a week, they can make any of my days. And I also do Saturday, which, if most people are off on Saturdays, they can make those too. Now, say someone misses, they're going to be like, oh, I need to reschedule, or, hey, do you have another time? I'm going to fit them in wherever the heck they can get in. So if they're like, look, I can only come at 12:30, I'm like, yes, I'll be there at 12:30, because they took the time to text you, ask you a different time. They will show up majority to that meeting because they're setting the time. They're not going to just like, you'll have people like, oh, I got 10 people coming and no one shows up. That happens. They don't have a connection with you. They don't feel the pressure or the accountability from you yet, because they know that's not me texting them. I mean, one, it's grammatically correct every which way. It's perfectly sounding. Like, that's not a normal person. I'm over
especially in the South, huh?
So when they get like, hey, this is a friendly text, exclamation mark, they're like, oh, this is a real dude texting me. So they'll be like, hey, I'll show up at 1 o'clock. I'll make that time and do it. So that is a key thing. One, making sure your times make sense. Make sure there's enough hours to give them a little wiggle room, and be flexible, because not every person is going to fit, in that schedule. Now, majority does. Like, majority comes to my schedules, but those 2 or 3, I can say, through this last boot camp, they came at a different, just random time, 7:30 at night. And hold up, it's getting hot. I'm sorry. Then they'll show up, and I don't really ever have an issue. So this is what I do. I crush the pricing question from the start. All right. Yep. So one, y'all have a beautiful video for the 250. So if you're doing the 6 weeks 250, that video is awesome. But I also offer weekly payment, bi-weekly payment, and full. Now, if you do weekly and bi-weekly, you're on my auto payment. So you got to make sure you have an auto payment. So there is no way you can get, kind of what y'all like, hey, they need to pay half, or they need to pay full, because they're going to show up for 1 week and never pay you. Right. So I did that for a while, the 125 or the 250, and that was it. Well, I was like, wait, hold up. Let me think. I do that. And I do this for my other business, where someone's like, man, I can't put up 151 right now. I'll be like, hey, can you do $35 a week? And they're like, yeah. Like, their whole demeanor just changed. Right. It's the same exact price. Do 35 times 52 weeks divided by 12 is 151.66. And it's just like Starbucks. No one spends $200 at one time at Starbucks, but you will spend $200 in that month at Starbucks. But let me say I got a $7 coffee for you. Like, oh, that's it, $7. Do that 14 to 16 more times. Well, you're gonna be hitting with tax over $200. So I took that, and so it's $41.56. And so when I'm in my presentation, which there's a step on how I do my presentation, because I only got about 15, 20 minutes. I got 3 to 4 people in the meeting, and I need to make sure I sell my soul to all these people and make sure they get every question answered. They're ready to go. And when I hit that price mark at the end, because kind of whenever I start a meeting, I always ask, did they watch the video? So I know that they saw the price or they didn't see the price. I also know, do they follow direction or do not follow direction? So I already know how to attack this meeting. So if I have a gentleman come in and like, oh, what's your name? You know, I give about 2 minutes. Oh, you from Slidell? Where you at? Oh, you're a rock throw away. You know, I like to be like, hey, this is only 7 minutes away. This is not far from your house. How many kids? You know, look at their wedding ring. Are they married? I get into their personal life because that's what I'm coaching. I'm not coaching someone I don't know. I'm not coaching someone at a Globo gym. I'm coaching someone I'm going to know for the rest of my life if they keep loving me. So yeah. I get, oh, you got a kid, you got grandkids. Oh man, do you play sports with them? Or you go out there and play with them? Breathing heavy. This is the program for you. I'm about to change your whole life. Give me about 10 minutes. Now, while I'm going through this process, since he did tell me that he didn't watch the video, oh, Jesus, I'm sorry. There's about to be a bad storm in our city right now.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, well, they said last week, long story short, last week, like it was supposed to storm and never did. So this week it's supposed to storm and we'll see, but it's getting windy. So, you know, I'll go through my meeting and there's certain points on that. And then I'll be like, so, you didn't watch the video. It's all right. I want to make sure I answered everything. The whole program is $250. I'm not worried about the money right now. You can pay $41.56. You can do half, or you can do the $250. And they're like, well, which one do I do? I'm like, whatever is comfortable for you. And they're like, wow, okay. So now I got options, not options to quit. I got options to pay.
Right.
So that's and so now they're thinking like, I'm doing this and I can only do this for $41. That helped out sign up people that were maybe on the fence or at the moment financially not where they want to be, but they wanted to be a part of the program and they could afford the 41 a week, not the 250 up front.
Right. That's huge. Because I would imagine that's probably the number one pushback, right? Is the price.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's everybody. So I had one lady, she was probably the first ballsy person that was like, that's expensive. And I said, and I felt a good connection. So I wanted to do this with everybody with her. And I was like, why do you, if you don't mind me asking, why do you think that's expensive? She was like, I mean, this is 300. This was the 8-week challenge. I did it for 349. So I had $350. And I was like, even if you break it down, it's $350. I'm like, yes, ma'am. I said, do you go to the gym right now? And she was like, yeah, well, I pay for a gym and I don't go. You know, I always try to find that, you know, see if they go to a gym, see if they're wasting their money. So I can show them how they're going to their money is going to be of value to their life. And so I was like, oh, you're paying about $80. I said, you got a personal trainer with that? Well, no. Well, how much is that? She's like, well, I think it's like $70 an hour. Like, do you have programming? Well, no. Have you checked that out? That's you can get programmed $30 to $50 a month on online without a coach, just the program. You have a nutritionist on there, do all your meal plan and macros. That's $200 to $500 a month, depending on the person. So so when they add it up, they're like, man, that's like $1,000. Jesus, I'm getting this for $350 with a small class of 6 people. Value just became knowledge. So she didn't understand the value of it. She just understood, I go to a gym, I work out. Her knowledge of a gym is I go to a gym, pay, and I never work out. So I had to bring her into the value part. So that price range really is not that hard to sell if you know how to. I don't want to say if you know how to sell it, but if you know how to touch their heart of where they're at. Yeah. Because every single person I'm dealing with is different. It could be a price problem. It could be a schedule problem. It could be a kid problem. It could be a medical problem. They think like, oh, I had surgery on my left knee. I can't work out. Well, for me, I have a story now. I haven't always had a story, but I had an oats procedure, which is just like a transplant to my knee. And so now someone tells me like, man, I went through the same thing. I got a knee surgery. I went to therapy, but because of CrossFit, I was able to work out the whole time. Now I didn't work out my left knee, but I worked out the whole time. And then when I got, cleared from the doctor, because I do believe in that, I was right back on it like I never missed a day. And they're like, man, that's okay. I'm over here saying my thumb hurts and haven't worked out in 25 years. This brother over here has a transplant in his knee and he's still running. So I try to meet them where they're at and show them there is a future. There is a goal at the end, that you're not out of it because you're injured. Because not everybody, that is an excuse. There's some people that's a reason. They thought, I hurt my arm, I thought I could never work out.
Right. So it sounds like you're able to make a personal connection. And
immediately. You got 10 seconds.
Which is the trust. And then
about 10 to 15 seconds.
Like you have a massive ability to pivot. So if they got any pushback on anything, you got something to come back at them.
Always. With. Yeah. And that's what a lot of messing up. a lot of mess ups. Am I allowed to curse on this video or no?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Oh
we're
yeah, a
all
lot of
adults.
fuck ups. Yeah, a lot. I mean, it was not always smooth with everybody. I remember people coming in, and I was in my 20s, so nervous. Like I know what I'm doing, but this 40-year-old that looks strong as heck, and they worked out back in the 80s. I'm just like, man, what am I going to say something and I'm wrong? So
Right.
confidence going in is key. That you're serving a product that they need, you don't need them. And the problem is
Yeah.
most people in life they think they need, I need this member, I need this athlete, I need this client, so they're trying to work the price out, discount the price. I don't discount the price for no one. Like I ain't discounting my service, I ain't discounting my coaching, I'm not discounting my programming. I'm gonna give you 101%. I'm not gonna discount this. So after I got through that phase of my life, which was probably a good year getting chewed out in boot camps and people walked out, people didn't show up. I mean, just like the little things, like someone walking in and seeing a class working out is will drive people away. I've had people walk in and turn around and walk right out before I could even get to them because they didn't know, they thought that that's what they're going to be doing. So even just from the meet and greet to walking to the office, sitting them down, that right there, that's 10 to 15 seconds that I'm making this quick connection with them. And I can start, hey, did you watch that video? You did? Awesome. Well, I just want to make sure I cover any questions that you have. Now I know they got the price. Now I know they know it's six weeks, they 3 times, they know it all. So I'm just going to kind of more or less like reverb what y'all said because they already know it. And because if they saw that video and they're in there, they're about it. That's an easy quick sell.
So that's interesting. They people would get turned off when they would hear the clanging of barbells and like people doing snatches and stuff. That would turn them off.
Yeah. That's why when
Uh,
like y'all video is very mild, like you got people doing step ups, you got 25-pound plate, but I got people doing squat snatch with 200 plus pounds. I don't want them seeing that. So
right.
we have a system with my receptions. Like when someone walks in, if I can't get with them, they have a certain chair they're supposed to sit in that's facing away from the people working out. Because I had one lady, she was facing the window one time, and this is before I could get to her, and she saw us doing rope climbs with our shirt off, and she got up and walked right on out.
Man, yeah, I guess it can be intimidating for anyone who's never done anything like that
Oh yeah,
before.
definitely.
Ah, okay. Well, that's interesting to know because sometimes we'll like, it might be different everywhere, but some guys do have success with like showing them and then like maybe taking them through an assessment and showing them how they can get to that as well and use it as inspiration. But I
Yeah,
guess,
so I use that what you're saying. I do the similar thing but without putting them through a workout. So every gym's different, but like when you walk in, you see my receptionist, but then you see 6,000 square feet behind you. So there's a lot going on behind you. So they might see it for a second or two because we are walking through the gym. And when I sit them down, we'll have a conversation, and sometimes I do have to pull this one out. And I'd be like, did y'all see? I said, do you see anybody out there? And they're like, yeah, man, they're over there flipping tires and pull-ups. And I'm like, I said, you know what's crazy about this? I said, those people were in the same meeting you are a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago. They just decided to stay a little bit longer. And that's where I open up to my next program. So I just want to let you know that this 6-week program is not a normal boot camp. I'm not saying, hey, you lost 12 pounds, 3% body fat, 12 inches off the body. Sorry, not a sucker. I'm like, oh, you got results? We're going to graduate you to our next class if you pass our boot camp test. So that means that, so now they know I need to make classes. I got a test at the end, and I can graduate to FitWad. Oh, that's something to look forward to. I want to be a part of that. So
so it
that
is,
I
it does
barely
become,
talk about it, but now they know he's hitting me up in 6 weeks for a long-term membership.
so it then does become a challenge.
Yep, becomes a
Right?
challenge, yes, sir.
It's just a regular program. It is a challenge that they get to step up to.
Yo,
So
yeah, it's a challenge. Some people do not pass, and they got to repeat boot camp.
really,
Now, oh yeah,
that's
all the time. So
interesting.
saying with that, if someone at the end say, I know everybody's different on their boot camp programming, but we have a certain test that we do. Now, most CrossFitters know the filthy 50.
Yeah.
All right. We don't do the filthy 50 that Chris Spieler does. I do a boot camp watered down version of the filthy 50, which is 10 movements, 50 reps. They'll do it week 3 and week 3 and week 6. All right. And so week 3, at the 25-minute mark, we'll cut the reps in half if we need to. If it's like, hey, this is taking a little too long, but I can guarantee with the programming that I put out, When they hit week 6, they will finish that thing all the way done, and they will shave 5 to 10 minutes off. And they will see that because they got an app, and they're like, holy crap, I just shaved 8 minutes. I'm doing push press with the bar. Just did box jumps on a 20-inch. Why would I quit this? He did that in 18 workouts. So that leads me in now. You graduated. Let's get you in fit. Now, some people don't want to do your next program. You're there to serve them. You can give them your professional experience and like, look, you're great. You got your results there. I really don't see you growing much more. Let's get you to the next step. Well, they're like, no. And I'm like, well, I didn't know what to do the first couple of times. I was like, well, that's kind of our next step. So what I do is I'm like, look, no big deal. You want to do boot camp? We'll do it again. I'm gonna sign you up for a membership now with my pricing, but you can do the boot camp if you want. So I kept that retention and kept that person, but they're just going to do another 6-week boot camp, but they're on a 12-month commitment now. So now they're like, man, this man just saved me half the price almost, and I still get to do what I want. And maybe one day they might go to my next program. That's really up to them.
Wow. So what made you make that adjustment?
So I can't recall who said it. I want to say it was one of my coaches. I want to say it was Chief. For some reason, I want to say it was him. And he's that 50 Masters. And this was about a year and a half ago. And people were just like, I'm not ready for fit. I'm kind of scared. Like those people are still really good, because fit's my intermediate program, which has majority of my members there. So you got some in boot camp, some advanced WOD, a lot of people in fit. So every class is busy. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm not sure. And I'd be like, well, that's our next step. And I kind of left it at that. They came and they didn't. So I was like, I'm losing these people, just a few. I'm losing a few that really just want to stick and stay with boot camp. So we were talking about it. And I'm pretty sure he was like, why don't you just sign them up on our membership and let them do boot camp? I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? Why didn't I think of this? Like that, like I'm losing all this money. And so I'll go. So we just ended, the 8-week, and I signed up 52 people out of the 3 boot camps for $350. A few, about 10 quit about 2 or 3 weeks in, and that's a whole different discussion how to keep them coming. But you will always have people quit on you. It's not a bad thing. Some people are just bad apples, and there's not, they don't have the energy that you're looking for. And then some people just got other things. They got crazy stuff and medical stuff. I used to personally get hurt when people left the gym. And then someone taught me just a different outlook of how to handle it. And so, love them. They might come back one day. I don't charge their card. They're not no contract. So I'm not trying to rip them up for another 6 weeks auto draft. I just let them go and, pray one day they might come back. Now they still get my weekly text messages personally. Hey, I know you missed a couple classes. How can I get you back in? They still getting that. I'm still treating them like a member because they did meet with me. They did do the measurement. They are interested. I haven't fully lost them. I just might have lost them for a couple weeks. And I tell you, a lot of people don't know what other people go through. So I was bothering this one lady one time, and I was like, man, this lady quit on me. I'm over here busting my butt trying to help her. She lost her daughter and had to take care of her grandkids, 3 boys.
Right.
And I was like, damn. So as a coach, just remember your members go through shit just like you do. And if they're not showing up, it's most likely not because they're lazy. It's just because they got real shit. And so I got that person back in 3 months later. Loved on her, called her, hey, we're praying, hope you're all right, and sincere heart. And she came back in 3 months after she got her life ready and dealt with all that.
Big, man. You're looking at them as a human as opposed to a number. It ends up paying so much dividends at the end. And this is something me and Sonny have talked about too, because that's probably the number one thing we recommend is like manual outreach, personal outreach. Just text them from your phone.
Got to.
And you're the living embodiment of that. And just making like a connection, not like trying to push a sale or anything. It's just so something like that, you recognize something like that and reached out with empathy and look, hey man, I'm praying for you. You're in my thoughts and stuff like that. That pays dividends in the long run. That person definitely come back or even at least recommend you, and it doesn't cost you anything to be that.
No, it don't. It don't. And that's why we got into CrossFit. I mean, like if you don't own a CrossFit gym, I mean, that's why you got into fitness in general is because we didn't want to be a part of corporation or a Globo gym that has 12,000, 12,000 people, and you don't even know any of the name. You don't even know who owns the building. Like you don't even know all the coaches. Like that's not. We got into the personal business. So on top of it, we're not selling a product that people don't know about. Everyone knows about fitness. Everyone knows. So I live by the 4 F's: faith, family, fitness, finances. Everyone knows you got to take care of those F's. I don't need to tell someone that.
Right.
So when they're walking in your doors, you trying to have a sell pitch and trying to use every technique out there. If you just touch where they're at in their life, and they can relate to you, that will go so much farther than you trying to name every measurement, how much someone lost, and what you can do as a coach, or this person can do 3 backflips over here. Like that's awesome, and that's the product. That's what we produce. And there's a few minority that I have to do that because they're asking me those questions. But normally, if I just touch them where they're at personally and get their heart, then the sale just sells itself. The product's going to sell itself.
I love it, dude. You are giving us a wealth of knowledge here, and this is gold. Like,
Thank you. I just scratched the surface. Yeah, this
that's right.
This is the outer. So this is the outer area. You got the inner area when you're in my office.
Right. Yeah.
That's a lot. But yeah, I mean, but do you have any questions?
Go into that. So with your personal outreach, like actually texting these people, how much time a day do you reckon you spend doing that? Do you bulk it together? Do you spread it out? Do you text them immediately?
So you know how all right, so the personal text in the first one, like whenever they book an appointment, okay, you send me an email, right? It's got a number. All right, all I do is hold the number, copy, paste, send. Now I do change the name. Okay, so say if it says Benjamin, don't just put hello, because they're going to think they can think it's an automated text message. I made that mistake before. Hello, Benjamin. They're more like, okay, that's a real person texting me.
Okay.
So after I do that personal text, that can come in. It's normally busier in the afternoons. So whenever it comes in, I just copy, paste, and send it whenever I get a few minutes. But what I can tell you, what goes a long way is when they put their number in and you do it like 5 minutes afterwards, they're like, wow, that was quick.
Right.
Not 3 or 4 days. Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. So if they book something on Monday and they're not coming to Friday, I'm texting them on Monday. I'm going to text them personally on Thursday. Hey, just a reminder. And I know y'all do all this, but it's just different when it comes from the owner. Hey, the owner here, I just want to let you know I'll see you at 9:30 tomorrow. So they got an opportunity to bail on you. So you're not wasting your time in a meeting, which I've done that before, where I've been waiting around and no one showed up. And then they can reschedule if they need to also. So it's just that open door policy you try to give with them.
So you always got your phone on you, always ready to respond.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And that's where those hours kind of come. That kind of comes up. If you're looking in, if you're working another job and you're trying to do this, I would definitely try to set at least 2 hours out of that day. It ain't going to take you 2 hours, but just give yourself a couple hours, because they might text back and they're going to ask you, what's the price?
Right.
That is. So this is how I say it. The price is $41.76 a week. That includes coaching, programming, measurements, and meal plan. They're like, that's it? Well, by golly, I'll see you on Thursday.
You don't even come out of the gates with the 250 in total or 300 in total.
If they watch the video, they'll see that it says 250. If they're too lazy to watch the video and just want to ask me, I'm going to say $41.76.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Because it comes out to $250 no matter how you pay me.
Right. So what do you reckon like the demographics are when it comes to people that sign up? Is it definitely more women that end up signing up?
Yeah. 75% women. Like I got a co-ed group tonight. It'll probably be 12 women and 3 men. And
is it just less men show up, or they're just harder to sell?
They come later. They come after they hear after the wife goes home and like, this coach me. And they hear him like 9 times. Like, I got to meet this motherfucking Jeremy Wells. He over here coaching my wife on how to squat.
Oh, really? So the women that sign up end up bringing in their husbands?
Oh, yeah. It takes a couple weeks. It normally does take a couple weeks. Men are normally, I'm a man, so I can say it. Normally they think they know what they're talking about. So I've always lived my life that I don't need to go through stuff to, learn it. I have people that are 30 years older than me that I can just learn it from, and then, grow faster than they ever did. So not every man's like that. Some men think they're stuck in the Arnold Schwarzenegger days. So they're thinking, isolation movements, bench and bars on Mondays, squat on Tuesdays. So they just haven't, they just maybe are just not educated. They've just never went outside the box of isolation movements. So you can offend them very quickly on how you talk. And so you got to be very careful on how you come across with people, because you do know what you're talking about, but they also think they know what they're talking about too. So
Right.
you
You don't want to come
remember,
across
most
as
people
too
that go on a diet, they found out from their fat uncle, not from a
right.
nutritionist, a doctor, a specialist. So that is their third party credibility, and the third party credibility is way more than what I'll ever say. So this goes with my wife. I can't coach my wife. All right, she already got to deal with me at home. I come in, I could coach her, give her every freaking beautiful cue you've ever seen. She's gonna be like, "Go away." Let another coach say the same exact thing. She will listen to the T. So
That
and
is
that's how and
exactly
that's
like
how.
me and my missus, man. When I try to train her every time,
How same thing.
that exact same
Same
thing.
exact
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
And
So
it
and
comes
so
comes back months later with the program she's doing. I'm like, I wrote all these exercises for you. No, you didn't. I'm like, I did, but
I
yeah,
did. Yeah.
because I
Oh no,
wrote them.
it's the same now. Put in light of that, men come in there already thinking they know what they're doing. They just need a little bit of help. Some of them are military, so they think the training that they did in the military, that they think that's CrossFit. And a lot of people, if you are doing the CrossFit programming, because I know y'all do other micro gyms that are not just CrossFit.
Yeah.
Some people think they know what CrossFit is, so I put that in my conversation with them, like, hey, what do you think CrossFit is? And they're like, you die. I'm like, all right, well, let's squash that real quick. Like, you are not doing this, isn't this. You're doing basic fundamental movement. CrossFit is just functional fitness. And I had someone, his name's Gerard. He was a boot camper. He just signed up. And he was like, man, you know what sold me? He was like, when you said functional fitness, he said, I've never heard it like that. I always thought CrossFit was some crazy people, like people with no shirts, grit and grind, flip some tires, throw some sledgehammers. But when you said functional fitness, I was like, I can relate to that, because he does construction. He works on tables and fences and a lot of woodwork and stuff. So I related more of where he's at, that this is for your quality of life, the rest of your life. So when I'm dealing with the person, that's where that personal touch comes from. And with that being said, I'm trying to put this like, I guess politely. If you're an asshole, you're not going to sell. Okay. If you are wearing certain clothes that are just not appeasing to the eye, things that say fuck, or that are political, like that, you're just asking to say no, because there's going to be a majority of people that do not like you. So
Right.
right now I'm wearing just a 42 CrossFit shirt. That's it. I am as I try not to offend anybody when I'm trying to, put a sales pitch together. So way I greet them, way I meet them, that goes very, very far. So I know people that I've been in business for 10 years now, and I've seen gyms come and go, and great guy, great athlete, knowledgeable coach, asshole personality, and they
Right.
think it's cool. They think it's funny. They're like, oh yeah, I'm an asshole. People say, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what, 1% of America is gonna like you? Like, this is 2022. People get hurt on everything. I mean, they look at Facebook and get hurt, and they don't even know half the
Yeah.
people on Facebook. So you're coming out of here being, this is what you're gonna do. This is gonna how you're gonna do it. It's very far and few in between people I ever have to act like that. And some people do like that, but that is not a lot of people. Majority of women, it's nice, soft, good technique. They're just there for a good 1 hour experience. That is it. This is the best hour of their day, and you need to make sure that it is. So that
That's
piece and that gym, this is therapy for them. They're paying you to get an hour away from their family, their kids, their job, life. That's what they're paying for. You think they like working out? Majority of people do not like working out. Just like majority of people don't like saving money or investing money or doing anything that's going to be beneficial in 20 years from now. We're America. We like things immediately. This is why they do diet pills and diet plans and surgeries that will never last anything past 3 to 6 months. So you're trying to get them to be like, look, this is going to be a fun, awesome, just great hour. Like, you're going to live here, laugh. Like, you're not going to want to leave here. If your members are finished in there and wiping down, leaving immediately, you're not doing it right. They got a good workout, but my members want to stay. They want to chit chat. They want to talk. They want to buy fit aids and buy shirts and stuff like that, because they love being in this gym, because they know when they leave this gym, back to the real world.
so culture is a huge part of it.
Huge.
Creating that inviting environment and being a personable person.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yep. Yeah,
That's
that's hard to teach. Yeah, that
that's
part, being
huge.
personable. Not saying you can't be taught, but there's a lot of life. There's a lot of inner stuff people got to change. I had to change it myself. This ain't just for everybody. It's for me. I used to be a hard butt. Like, this is how we're going to do it. Like, I'm the boss, no, like, I'm only good because of the coaches that I have around me. I'm not creative. I'm not, I can't draw. They don't even let me write on the whiteboard because my handwriting's so bad. All right. Most of my great ideas. Hold up.
Yeah.
This is my beautiful wife.
Hey, how you doing?
This is Gavin.
Hey.
Nice to meet you.
I didn't know that you were on the phone still.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's all right. I love you.
Sweating.
I am sweating.
Because
I can't hear him.
That's
I'm
that
recording right now.
Louisiana.
I love you.
I love you. I'm sorry about that.
Louisiana weather, huh?
Huh?
That Louisiana weather.
It's weird. Yeah, it was 80 degrees. Now it's like 55. Yeah, it makes no sense. But yeah, culture is huge in the gym, and trying to keep that culture. And so that's why you're picking them. And that's how they need to understand. Kind of like, you're not selling them. They need you. They came for their life to be changed. Now, we're not assholes and like, yeah, we're big boss. Like, you need me. But don't go in there like, oh, please do my boot camp. I'll knock off 25% if you, and I know some of y'all have done this. I've done this. I'll knock off 25% right now if you do it. All right. Like, no, like that's not going to help. But you need to be confident, but you also need to be palatable to the person. Kind of going forth with boot camps. If you ran boot camps before, you already have hundreds of emails that you can email and text. So if you have Fit Hive, what I'll do is I go through my boot camps, my previous ones that people did not sign up for, but they did make an appointment, and I will text them personally. Hey, we want to let you know we're at another boot camp. I saw you were interested 2 years ago. Bada bing. Boom. We did what is it? That 350 for 3 months that you did that text message for me. Dude, we sold, I think I sold 10 of them in like the first week. And these were people that signed up for an appointment, but never showed up for a boot camp. And so you have access already to hundreds of people, plus the ads that are being pushed out, plus people that did sign up for the boot camp that never signed a contract afterwards. You can reach out back to them. What's the worst thing they can say? Let me tell you, I've had people tell me, fuck no, I'm going to call the police. Why are you texting me? I'm phony. Like, you're going to have those weird people that are going to waste your time. But that 1 out of 5 is like, yeah, I'd love to come. And you're like, oh shit, this works, man. Like, let me try that again. Like it's like a magic potion that, like, this text message, like, it's nothing crazy. Again, emails are not necessary. I like the phone better. I do like text messages better. People are not going to change their phone number. Likely, it's more likely they'll change their email before, because a lot of spam comes through. So you got 2 different generations. You got and I'm kind of like in between it. So you got the older people where, like, Prince of Bob will be like, send me 5,000 and all your wishes come true. The older generation, that's them on emails. They just kind of like, yeah, who's gonna lie to me? Like, everyone's nice. Well, then you got the younger generation, 2024. There's so much spam. They sign up for everything. So they might just not even get your email. So I always text messages, make it personal. Okay. They can block me if they want. It's not a big deal.
Which is what I typically say anyway. People are more likely to see a text than they are an email, because emails just get lost in the weeds with all the other emails. But a text, even if it just pops up on their phone on their home screen, like, who the hell's this? Even if it's just who the hell is this, and open
you're gonna read it.
You'll get eyes on it.
You got to read an email. You got to open it.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Right. So they don't open it. They just put trash.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. A lot of the email software too will automatically send the email to spam or trash a lot of the time. Yeah. So, yeah, no, that's good to know. So I think another question too, quickly, like on the actual ads, do you get much engagement like on your page because of it? Do you get many people?
That's a great. Yeah, that's great. So I feel like I do. I don't know like who to judge it on, because I don't know anybody else like local that does the best self challenge, but I think I get great engagement. But I also engage with people. So one, everyone's gonna like the ad. All right. So y'all do it locally. So anybody that likes the ad, you need to go invite them to your fan page. So automatically you invite them for your fan page. You press where it's like it shows you like 75 likes. Press that, you can invite all those people to your fan page. So now they'll like it, and now they can see future stuff. So say they like it, I do that, and then the next thing they're going to message. All right, they're going to message some crazy stuff sometimes. All right, it's insane. So I have a format that I copy paste everybody, like times, address, and then of course the pricing. That's the biggest one you're going to deal with, is how much does this cost. So I have that already saved and set. So what I do is I put message me. I'm sorry, I don't put that. I'm sorry. I put message you under their name. I'll like it, message you, and then send a message. Boom. Now, any other question that they're going to ask me, I have a direct line, because what happens on Facebook, that say you got 30, 40 people commenting and you're trying to answer everything, I promise you're going to miss, because they're going to tag somebody. It's going to get lost in it. And then you never really got back to that person. So, and some people think I'm trying to hide the price. I'm not hiding the price by messaging. I'll message every single person that asks me any question, but I know how this works. I'm going to personally message them, because then they're going to ask me, all right, 4176, what type of workouts do you do? I do keep things pretty vague, because it is very hard to explain functional fitness over Facebook message. Like, that's a really long message. And I'm going to use words that they're not going to understand. And I don't get to point to body parts. I don't know. I don't see their age, their gender, their ethnicity, their background. I don't know anything about it. I'm just giving you this information, which most people, it's like eat the meat, spit out the bone information. They might not receive everything that I'm trying to get to them. So I'll say, message you, send it. And then if I need to, I'll answer a couple questions, but I'll always say, hey, make sure you make an appointment. I'm going to answer any other questions that you have. But yeah, I engage in every single, you can go look at all my ads, every single message. I do not miss a message.
And you shoot them the link to the schedule page, or?
Yeah. So yeah, it's in the format for what I copy and paste. It's a little bit, I think it's a little bit too long, to be honest with myself. But I'm trying to get all the information out without, and I don't want no one think I'm deceiving them or lying to them. So I got name, can't wait to meet you, pricing, the address, the times, because that's the second most question, is what times do you have, and then the link if they need to make an appointment.
And what do you do with like negative comments? Delete them?
I block them.
Yep. That's you got to do. At the end of the day, you're trying to run a business. So.
Yeah, it was tough. Honestly, I was like, I remember the first time I cried to you, I was like, they're making fun of me on Facebook. What do I do? You're like, bro, just block them. I mean, like, no, I delete it and I block it. Anyone that has that kind of time of their day to waste on Facebook to make fun of someone that's trying to provide for their family, they can go to hell.
All right,
and we'll just block them.
Yeah, I agree. So, dude, this is awesome. I'm so glad we did this.
Good.
We'll probably do something with it. Maybe put it on the page or something for other people to watch. Because at the end of the day, we want people to succeed too. And
yes, sir. Yeah.
You, amongst a few others, are just the most successful, and you're just saying all the right stuff and some new stuff that I learned. Like, man, yeah, that just makes so much sense. And you describing your process, and it just sounds, the way it's just flowed out of your mouth, like you've put a lot of years and effort and experience into this. And
yes, sir.
It sounds like it. And man, I can't wait to show the guys this stuff. So
yeah, I hope they enjoy it. And I mean, I know this conversation's getting over almost an hour. So definitely we could do another one if you want, because there is a process, like when I'm inside, like when I'm dealing with the person on like certain, like I try to do like a 1, 2, 3 steps, so I can kind of stay on page, because I know I'll start going off topic, or I'll run too long on like what I'm trying to say, and then you have someone waiting for you that needs to go pick their kid up, but you're 5 minutes late, so now they're 5 minutes late, so they're just gonna walk out, or they're gonna try to hurry you up to get out because they got somewhere to do. So I do have a pretty strict process on that. Sometimes it varies a little bit on the person, because you might have someone that comes in and is like, sign me up, I don't even have to really do much. And then there is some people that I'm like, look, I'm sitting down with them, they're crying, they're telling me about the divorce that they just went through, and I'm like, look, this is for you, you got this, we're going to be there, we're going to walk steps. So those don't really count. Those are just kind of the odd and ordinary ones, but there is a process on how I do it. I can get them in, get them out, they feel like I met with them, because then I got to schedule their meal plan, their measurements. So normally I'll do that like immediately the next day, because the next day is like, oh crap. Now let me tell you something I did before. This is a good one. All right. This is kind of how we just started doing this, I think 2 boot camps ago. So you know how we do 2 weeks of registration? Okay.
Yep.
So is that for everybody, not just me?
Yep. 2 weeks of interviews.
Yeah. Okay. So you got 2 weeks. So you sign up the first week, people, Monday through Friday. I give all those people the next week free. All right. The reason why, one, I don't remember everybody's name. So when I got 30, 40, 50 people showing up in 2 days, I'm trying to guess all these people's names, and I'm just like, I'm trying over here. You got Joe. This is Joe Jr. This is Bro. Like, it's a lot. Secondly, out of sight, out of mind. You'll have people sign up on that Monday, Tuesday, and then 13 to 15 days later, now they're supposed to start. Like,
Right.
like they don't start. They just never show up, and they don't pay or nothing. So I've seen that before. So what I did that first week, I'm signing all these people up. And like, look, just to let you know with this sign up that you're about to do, you're going to get a free week on me. Don't worry about it. We got you. You're going to start this Monday. Is that okay with you? And they're like, yeah, oh yeah, a free week. Sign me up right now. I'm like, look, we're going to get you nutrition plan and tomorrow. So I can spend just about 20, 30 minutes. I'm going to get you your meal plan, your macros. I'm going to take some sexy pictures. We're going to get you going. You're going to have about 3 to 4 days to go shopping. You got any questions? You got my personal number because I did personally text you. They're like, yeah, all right, cool. I set it all up. Get the card. They swipe or however they pay. They leave. Now they know in 3 to 4 days, I'm freaking starting. Not 10 days from now, 12 days from now, and 3 or 4 days I'm starting. That solved a lot of other problems. One, having a class too big with a coach. Say you're not coaching the class as the owner and you have someone that maybe is not as experienced as you. Have you ever tried to coach 10 people that can't do an air squat? Oh my Jesus, you're going to be sitting there for the hour just trying to teach the air squat. But you do 3 or 4 one week, and then the next week, everyone shows up, and it might be 6 to 7 people. So it takes a lot of stress off the coaches.
That's huge. I've
Yeah.
never
I
heard
never
that.
thought about that one until recently, but it solved a lot of like new people problems, getting people to pay. Because like when you got like 10 to 20 new people you're trying to deal with, you're like, I got you, and this person walks off. I'm not it all out. So like that, I'm still doing the registration on that second week, but I have those people in the first week now going through, and they're like, man, this is cool. I love it. They have an option. Now they got an opportunity to go tell a friend, oh my God, just did a class. It gets a whole, they get a taste of it now. And you know, people that get a taste of your program, they love it. They're like, I can actually do it. And anybody that was like, let me see you do it first. Well, now they can still sign up because it's not too late. So it opened up more doors.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's
That was probably my newest thing that we just put into our boot camps. You know, you go through your boot camp, you got the 6 weeks. I do text everybody weekly. Mine, I do Sunday nights. I text everybody week 2, week 3, you know, hey, you missed this day, make sure you make up. Are you okay? How's your meal plan? You know, just kind of making sure everybody's, you know, just stay in touch throughout the week. Cause I don't coach any classes. I don't coach one class. All my coaches coach. Now I oversee and I watch, but I coach coaches, my coaches coach members. So I need to make sure I still keep that connection with them because I might not see them at the 7 p.m. all women's because that's only for all women's and no men are not supposed to be in the gym at that time. So I do my text messages. Well, on week 5, I'm going to be saying, hey guys, 1 second. No, week 4. I'm sorry. No, I'm right. Week 5, I'm like, hey guys, you know, we got 2 weeks left. Y'all doing so good. I'm going to be getting it with everybody soon about talking about the next step. We are so excited to start the next journey with you. So now they know in the back of their mind, coach about to hit me up. We're about to do measurements in a couple weeks. He's about to start hitting membership. So we'll start planting that seed. So it's not like, hey, 6 weeks is done. You want to sign up? It gives us it's just a little bit more time to process, because what they're going to do is they're going to think about it. They're like, let me think about it. And then they're going to leave the gym. And then you're kind of shit out of luck. So I like to do it on week 5 to get them thinking about it. So then in week 6, and I do the measurements, and I'm like, hey, you know, we got that text. Like, yeah, I've been thinking about it. And normally they're like, hey, what do you think? I'm like, well, you did the 50-50 in this. You shaved up 8 minutes. You lost, 11 pounds, 2% body fat. Me and coach, we talked. I really feel like you need to move to the next program. And they might be yay or nay. You know, they say no, it's fine. They can do the boot camp under gym membership, or they can do my fit under gym membership. But either way, they're staying with me. So that's kind of a short version of the end of it.
That's the cool thing is this is a process that you've just developed since the start with trial and error, right?
Yes, sir. Trial and error.
Yeah.
And it's always developing. It's always getting better. But I feel like, we just did a back-to-back boot camp, and I know that's kind of like a no-no for y'all because y'all don't want to saturate the market. And I totally understand that. But I'd signed up, I think 30 on my last boot camp, and the boot camp before that was the 8-week one, and that was 52. So, if you're looking for new members, go through Fit Hive. They know what they're doing.
We
Y'all
appreciate
are
that,
on
bro.
point with those ads. I don't know how y'all do it, but y'all are on point. Very good with those ads.
Yeah, I mean, the thing we seem to bump into, it's the ads have never been the issue because like we get leads, we get appointments. The main issue is the quality of the leads that we seem to have, and like
Okay.
people not showing up. But I mean, especially after hearing you speak now as well, is process is a huge part of it. Process and
It's the only part. I mean,
yeah,
everybody can coach. I mean, I'm not tooting our own horns, but I'm pretty sure everybody that's coming to you, they have experience to coach. They
yes,
probably love people. They probably like people at least. They want to do this, and make actually money and not be broke for the rest of their life. I'm pretty sure they want that one too. So pick your poison on why you do it. The process from the start is a make or break in that consultation.
yep,
It is it. This is the end game. This is 4th and 1, and Joe Burrow should have made that throw to his running back, and we would have won the Super Bowl. Like this is it. You have a chance, and if you mess it up, if you are not on time, if you don't have a good receptionist or someone to meet someone at the door, like we all, I mean, that's like the little things. Like we meet them, they meet my receptionist, then they get to meet me. They get a free water. They get to sit down in a nice little cool office. Like those things, play a big part. Like one, make sure you have an office. I know some gyms don't meet out people out where there's music and people weightlifting. Like you got 1,000 things going on. They're not paying attention to you. They're looking at the sexy girls working out, or I'm ready to get the heck out of here because I can't do this. They need to be in a closed place. One, office is a sense of power. So then they'll respect you of who you are as a person. You're not just you're just not just some coach just trying to get their money to coach them. This is a serious discussion. This is lifelong changing. You're going to pay the doctor, or you're going to pay me, and I'm a lot cheaper than the doctor.
All right. So hypothetical, you're a brand new box gym, no office. You're trying to get people to sign up for your boot camp. It's almost a garage that you're working out of. What would you do?
Honestly, build an office.
Right. Office
Is that an option?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you need an
Most
office.
buildings have an office. So yeah, or at least some kind of meeting room or something like that. Right?
Yes, you got to separate yourself from the gym. It can't be the same.
Yeah.
You need, because they need your undivided attention. You need theirs, and it's
Okay.
very hard to get that with lights, camera, and action on your classes going on.
They don't have a receptionist.
Yeah, that one's not the make or break. I definitely I've not always had a receptionist. The reason I have one is because of y'all, because y'all helped me grow the gym, and I can afford one now. And she only does afternoons. All right, so she's not a full-time; she's part-time. So my mornings, which again are not that busy, me or my coach will meet and greet the person immediately at the door. So because like I do 8 to 10. All right, 8 a.m. is my smallest class in my gym. 9 a.m. is a lot of moms, a lot of people that just drop their kids off, the stay-at-home moms. So they're pretty, cool going, easy going. So if my coach is coaching and needs to step to the side and be like, hey, I'm just want to let you know, Jeremy's been right with you. He's finishing the meeting in 5 minutes. You mind sitting down? Would you like a bottle of water real quick? Is there anything I can get you? That's beautiful too. But my afternoons are very busy, and so to get me to stop, or my coach to stop, like that's just impossible. So my receptionist will meet them at the door. If you're at the state of a new person, you don't have you don't have that problem yet. You will have that problem if you keep going and growing, but you don't have 30, 40 people with 3 programs going on at 6 p.m.
Right.
You probably have 3 to 5 people. Well, an owner can probably stop what they're doing to meet that person. That's not, it won't be too difficult. But without the receptionist, have the office, and make sure the office looks nice. Have pictures of your family. Make sure they know that you're a family-oriented person. That's why people come to my gym, because I'm not on the weekends partying, doing drugs, and at strip clubs.
Okay.
I'm not saying you got to be the most religious person. Like, I mean, I am a church-going guy, but
Right, but you've already established the kind of person you are with that kind of stuff, right?
that's right.
You are relatable. You're just a nice,
just like you.
That's
it. Just like you. I just been working out a lot longer, and I went to college for it. So and this is how, and to kind of attack that problem, because some people do know, they think they know what they're talking about. And so depending, because I always find out their occupation, because occupation will tell me what classes they can come to. Because if you're a nurse, you're normally a 7 to 7, no matter PM or AM. So I kind of know how to work with you. So I'll be like, hey, what do you do for a living? They're like, oh, I'm a nurse. And I'm like, oh, You're a nurse. Okay. So I have an idea of what nurses do, but you don't want me shooting a needle in your vein. I probably will miss. Now, I know that's what nurses do. But that's the same thing with me. You don't need to be programming for yourself. You have an idea and you've watched YouTube videos, but it's not the same. So that's one of my tactics that I use. And they're like, well, that actually makes sense. That makes sense. And that goes a long way on that perspective of knowledge and information, and then kind of producing it where they can get some results from it. Because a lot of people have the knowledge, but they don't know how to produce results from it.
Right. And that gives you that authority piece.
That's right. Yeah. That's a nice way to get authority of, I know what I'm talking about. You don't, be quiet.
Yeah. And at the
Because
end
you'll
of
have
the day,
people
that's
do
what they're going
this.
to pay for, is you're the expert.
That's right. Yeah. But being an expert, you don't need to say you're an expert. You're an expert because you are. So that is my soft way of saying it. Depending again on the person, depending on how I'm dealing. Some people are so easy, open-minded. Lord, just save me. I'm fat as fuck. Help me. I'm dying. I have type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure. And that's what if they're getting them in their doors and they're not signing them up, they're not selling per se the future. So they need to realize the position that they're at and the position that they're going. All right. So broke people are broke for a reason. They're unwise with their money. They didn't make wise decisions in their 20s and 30s. They accrued debt, and then 40, 50, 60s come around and they are just still trying to just work, grind. They just don't have any sense of direction of how to do it correctly. Most people work out. Most people go to the gym. Most people, they think walking's working out. That's a big thing around in Louisiana. People love to walk. They think that's the thing. So I try to make sure I grab them where they're at softly, and then bring them up of what I'm about to do to their life, and I'm about to change their life. Their kids are about to see a new leader in the household. They're about to see a new father step and be like, hey, I'll work out. Like my kids, and it's not tooting my own horn, I probably got my own problems, but my kids know daddy works out. And so that will be the normality for them and their kids. Hopefully they listen, they stay in my shoes. So when you are selling them or selling the pitch for them, without trying to sell like a used car salesman, you are literally selling the future to them, saying, I'm not saying I can cure diseases. I never tell people that, but I do say, when you're 72 and your grandchild wants to throw a football with you, could you do that? Hold up, there you go. Is that possible? And I hit their heart, and they're like, man, I can't even throw right now, because they don't care if you're like, oh, I used to do that back in the day. You hear that a lot when you get older. No one cares that you did that back in the day. I'm not asking you to do a backflip and run a mile in 5 minutes. I'm asking you to have quality of life. The quality of life is getting out of that freaking chair, stop smoking your cigarette, and go play with your grandkids, because they're going to remember that for the rest of your life. My 5-year-old plays with his great-grandfather because that grandfather listens to me. So he's my grandfather. So it's his great-grandfather. He's 74 years old. My son will always remember that. And he also will remember the grandfather that does not play with him.
Oh, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So these are things. These are not sales pitches. This is life.
Yeah,
this
you're
is
just
future.
painting an optimistic future for these people.
That's it. That's it. And right now, they're digging themselves a big ditch. And a majority of the world wants to give them pills, wants to give them quick fad diets. And we're really selling hard work and dedication. That's what we're selling. I mean, that's it. Now, our programmings might all be different on how, you come about it and how you like the mythology of your program. But all in all, we're selling hard work and dedication. And most people don't want to do hard work. They don't want to do dedication. That is what it is. So I have to meet where they're at, understand how they got there in that process, because most people did not wake up fat. No one wants to be fat. All right. No one wants to be 400 pounds and 50% body fat and might have a stroke. Oh, I'm just getting in their car. That something happened, a divorce, someone died. They might have had, some medical problems growing up as a child. They might have had, they might have anything. There's 1,000 things that go out there. So these are things that I find out while I'm talking to them. Because one thing, what people love to tell other people? Their problems.
Right.
Love it.
Sure.
So now I'm the counselor. Now I'm the therapist. I ain't a coach no more. I get them there. I get soften their heart, and then I get to show them the way. Now, while I'm showing them the way, I do got to tell them it's $250. But that pill is a lot easier than it's $250. And it's just been a sales pitch the whole time.
Right. So
sorry, you keep me going on this.
You're all right, man, because I love picking your brain about it. It's all about establishing that connection, or making a connection with someone, allowing them to trust you, and then expressing the value of why it costs this much.
Yes, sir.
I love it, man. Yeah, that was a good solid hour. So I appreciate
Yeah.
you taking
Hour
the
and
time,
7 minutes.
man.
Enough for my wife to come check on me, make sure I'm still alive.
Yeah, I'm sure the kids are ready to play with you too.
Oh no, I'm at the gym right now. We're
Oh, you
good.
are at the gym.
Yeah, they're running right now, goofing off with the adults.
Oh, cool beans. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Jeremy,
So
man.
also, if you can in your gym, if you can have any type of childcare, since we do
Oh, yeah.
have women that we mostly market to, childcare is big. I do free childcare in the afternoons. That's how I've always done it, and it's very hard for a mom to be like, "Well, I can't work out because I have kids. Well, I have free childcare." Well, crap. Well, there goes that excuse. So
Yeah, yeah, right.
it does help a lot, and they have time where they can stay longer too because we have free childcare. They don't have to rush in and out.
Okay. And so you guys pay someone to look after the kids?
Yeah, I have two babysitters. But I mean they share hours, so it's just one from 4 to 7.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome, man.
that goes a long way with. I mean, because most people we market to is in their 20s and 30s. It's probably
Yeah.
majority. If we did statistics on like who's signing up would be your 20 and 30-year-olds. Those people have babies.
Yeah.
Majority of
Most
them.
of them anyway, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree. All right, man. I really appreciate you taking out the time to do this. I have no doubt this
No,
is
it's
going to
cool.
help a lot of people. So not
Okay.
only you're helping,
I got something I want to tell you in private off the record, if that's all right.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Okay. So I've always thought of this, and I've never discussed it with y'all.
You're going to tell me now?
Yeah, if that's all right.
Okay. No worries. I'll hit stop recording.
Okay,
So,
my bad.
yeah,
I thought you were just
appreciate
gonna edit it
you,
out.
man. All right, let me just stop this.